This video actually looks really cool.
5 seconds remaining.
Look at that.
PSG.LGD's turn to ban. OG's turn.
And we're back. Round 2 of OG versus LGD in round 1 of TI8. I'm W1 here with Cinderin. That's probably the most official thing I did. I felt like I had to do that after you did the whole, this guy's on this lane, this guy's on this lane, and I was basically your cameraman bouncing around every single lane.
I think it's good to introduce the players.
Yeah.
At least here in the start. Like, I think a lot of people don't watch Dota all the time, but most people that are Dota fans watch TI. So if you're not up to date with who's playing on what team, what role they play,
what lane they're even going to.
Yeah, I think it's maybe here in the start. I don't know if we're going to do this the whole tournament with introducing everybody everywhere. We can, because when we get further in, you know,
once the main event happens, they have like the production where they just bounce through every single hero.
They're going to
do it in perspective mode. So it never really gives anyone a great idea. So yeah, hey, you know what? While we're here, while I'm controlling the observer and missing first blood, like, we will have you covered.
That's the one thing we do right.
I'll show you. We make up for inadequacies, which is what OG need to do now in their draft. Are they going to ban the IO? Do they fear LGD actually trying this again? No, they don't. They ban Magnus, Pugner, Enchantress.
They didn't care. Interesting. Okay, so they're gonna. I think LGD will just pick it again. I don't think they felt like that was a problem.
Well, is LGD even in a position where they're like, you know what, maybe we should reveal like different things that we do? Isn't this the group stage where you? Yeah. It's like if it's not broken and we still were able to beat them, let's just do it again. But OG, it's that weird hero gyrocopter, right? Because like LGD pick up IO, you're not going to pick up a gyro to counter them because you want to have the two together, right?
That might be what OG are planning, but I don't know if it's that good. I think you maybe anticipate this gyro is coming now, and now you pick heroes that are better against gyro than what they had. So last time they picked Venge Weaver in this position. I think this is where they should switch it up. They might get the Weaver again.
Do you get something like a Witch Doctor? Do you look for the old, or Disruptor, the older counters to the IO?
They don't really counter IO in lane though. I guess that's the problem. You wanna win the lane. I think if you, I'm trying to think of what 4 would be a good choice. I think maybe Weaver Maiden would be a better opening than Weaver Venge. It's just the minus armor synergy is nice, but at the same time,
okay.
This is an alternative approach. I could see the Weaver
he was banned first phase last game, right?
I believe so, yes. Yeah. I think LGD banned it out. I definitely did see it first banned in some game here, but I do think it was the last one we just had. So, yeah. This is a hero you're going to see a decent amount of this TI as a support, I think.
Okay, Morphling, he was banned in the second phase by LGD, and they're just opening up with it.
That is very different. They might be... See, this is a carry that's really good against Gyro, so it looks like a block pick. They want to intimidate LGD into not picking Gyro because you don't want to give Flak Cannon over to Morphling. Yeah, they're not going Gyro now. I think they just changed their mind here. They changed their plan and go for another IO partner. Tiny they banned themselves, though, so that is not a possibility.
Well, you've got another one of the heroes for combination. Necro, meant to be flagged as one of the big heroes in this tournament.
Could be a pick.
I just remember like the IO and the Necro together where it's like it just feels unkillable.
Yeah. Global is a decent solution, though, for that combination. It's one of the better supports to have against Necrophos. Silencer has a lot of magic damage, and he has multiple silences, so even if Necro gets, say, a Lotus Orb, if you play it right, you might be able to force him to Lotus the last word, and then you can Global after, for example. We'll see. It'll
be the Necro.
They go for it anyway.
A high-strength morphed Morphling is just way too enticing, not to mention just Necro, so difficult to win in the lane.
Yeah, this is a very strong... I think this is a really bad lane opponent for Morphling to have. I think you don't want to play against Necro. Every time you go for CS, he's going to trade with you, he's going to harass you in lane, and sure, you can morph down to low health and then send out flasks, but you don't want to do that over and over and over again. Yeah. And this is one of the biggest benefits of Necrophos. He wins the lane largely on economy. Just both teams will have to send out regen, but Necro it's just cheaper. Because he gets regen all the time from killing creeps. And eventually he will overtake you in the lane.
Now, she banned Clinks out. We were watching TZ playing that on another stream.
Yep, he played it last game for EG.
But it's a really good hunter against both IO as well as Necro. If you can get that nice early Orchid, then you're good to snipe.
I think it might also be LGD planning ahead here, because what Clinks is really good against is heroes that rely on ranged right click. Because Strafe just counters you super hard.
Yeah.
And it could be that LGD are aiming for something like, say, just a good example would be TA. It's a really bad match for TA because you actually can't deal damage to Clinks and Strafe. You can't hit him.
Yeah.
What's another good example? There's the classic matchup of Windranger against Clinks where nobody's dealing damage. That one's also great. Strafe versus Windrun. But I don't think the Windrunner is what PSG are planning here. It could also, like you said, it could just be a way of safeguarding their IO. But there's other heroes that are also definitely a problem to deal with.
I just like this for OG where they can, like this could just be the Animorph and then you get Thompson onto his nuker again. But nuking against like a Ghost Shrouded Necro feels a lot nicer for them. And if they can actually get like the Invoker, if they can have like the big EMP burn, it's going to really cripple LGD's ability to actually function. But now ES comes in. Welcome to Teamfight. Welcome to potential 3 or 4. Yeah, 3 or 4 position.
I don't like 3 Shaker. I think if you pick it, you play it 4 this patch. But this is the second time I see Shaker picked. It was picked by Liquid in their last game, and I don't know. I'm not really feeling this hero just conceptually right now as a strong pick, but I'm ready to be surprised. This is the second time already in a few games. Maybe it's even been picked a third game that I didn't see. So it definitely might be a hero on the up. The downside for me with Shaker is he's not very strong in lane. Like he can't. It's hard to run in and hit people. You can fissure and help your offlaner, which has always been nice and still is really nice. But largely, when it comes to like the mid-game situations, you need a dagger. And if you don't have it because your fights didn't go well, or because you can't find space to farm on the map, you're just a walking fissure, and that's not that strong anymore. So
it's almost that point where you want to run it like you do that classic safe flame, like the three position safe flame. We saw KP do it. I always liked referring to Black as the guy who would do it for like with his SK play. Mm-hmm. So you just give him the safe lane, let him farm up, and then just rotate a 4 position that can kind of transition to that 3 as well. You
could go about it that way,
but then you got to push more for the offlane, so it wouldn't work in this game.
Yeah, and you still I don't know. Shaker needs really specific matchups to do well in lane. I think. I just don't think he's that strong of a laner against a lot of heroes. Mm-hmm. A lot of the heroes that are popular right now, we haven't seen much Ursa this tournament, but I think we will see it soon enough. We haven't seen it much this tournament. We've played like 1 game.
Sample size.
I've played like 4 games. Ursa will definitely be a pick. A hero like Weaver, like many of these strong laners, Necrophos crushes Shaker in lane. Like you don't stand a chance.
Yeah,
you're gonna get quadrupled up on farm.
And they pick the ES into the Necro, so this has to be.
It's support. I really don't think you put core Shaker this game. But at the same time, you look at OG's lineup and you feel like, do you like this support duo? And when I see Silence or Shaker together, I've picked this myself in the past, and it feels like, oh, it's gonna be great. We have good team fight. But then when it turns out, what happens in the early mid game is nobody's making, like, you can't really make plays, right?
Yeah.
This is a really nice solution. I like this a lot because I think OG needed something that is really strong in lane to compensate for Shaker's weakness, and that can join plays so that Shaker can actually set up something meaningful. I think this was a really nice pick for their lineup, so I'm liking the Nature's Prophet a lot.
I actually thought we'd see a lot more Prophet at this tournament too, because like
we've seen 1 game,
like
so far.
Yeah, 1 game. As in,
sample size.
I'm hoping we see it more during this tournament because it's been a while since we've ever had like a 2-1-2 laning phase meta. In fact, I can't remember who it was saying it, like basically said like we hadn't really had this until since Warcraft 3 to go like a proper 2-1-2 solid. But Nature's Prophet's one of those ones where he can be your offlaner, he can be a combo with somebody, but it doesn't require you to say like we're a 2-1-2. We can easily switch into 3. Welcome back, Wraith King. But their global push from LGD is really like it's reliant on the IO doing well, and it's not a simple split push. So OG can delay this game quite nicely to buy time for the Morphling. But I still want to see what Topson plays. Like, what's their nuker? What's that final one? Can you get away with an Invoker? Can you delay this up? Burn the mana of this entire squad?
I think LGD are going to ban that hero. That pick is super good in this game. Quaswex Invoker would own. It's the best pick in the game.
They 5th banned him in the first game of the series. So.
They're not going to get that. So let's talk alternatives, because I really don't think they'll give him Invoker. I think the Skywrath Mage is better this game than last game. Just overall looking at the draft, I feel better about OG this time.
Really?
I think it's going to go better.
Do you think there's enough sustain though? Like Wraith King's just going to end up getting Blade Mail again. Like, can you do something else like a Death Prophet, for example, where you can just let the spirits do the work and you got a lot more sustain through Siphon?
I guess I don't think that's that good of a Thompson hero. I also don't. I don't
disagree. But...
I don't think that's what their lineup needs either. So what you want now, I think, is you have a Shaker and you have a Morphling. Morphling needs to farm. Shaker is not the strongest position for in terms of early movement. So I think you need a high tempo mid, and I wouldn't consider DP high tempo. DP is like, let's go together and push towers. Who's she going to push with? Morphling is not going to help,
but
Shaker can barely help.
High tempo, like you'll need to have a quick rotator. Like you're not going to have. Well, the Lina was already banned. Like, does Thompson play Queen of Pain? Like, can he do the clearance and give him even more team fight?
I think. Well, we'll see what lane matchup he has. Then we can.
They banned Storm.
They need some sort of information to go on, because there's a handful of heroes that Thompson plays that could be good here. The Monkey King mid could be an option.
Oh, they actually banned Drow.
They didn't ban Invoker. I think.
Wait, do they think this is a Thompson Morphling?
No. There's always options, right? Either they didn't think about it, they forgot about it, or they're picking a hero that's really good against Invoker in lane. But if this hero doesn't beat out Invoker in lane, I think OG almost going to snap pick it. It's really, really good here.
Yeah. I also like just the fact that like LG, like with the Storm Spirit ban, like how do they catch up? They're going the Gyrocopter. They're still going to do the IO and Gyro.
Invoker's so good.
So it's a mid Necro, and this seems like a really nice game for Invoker, and then OG to just play the perfect team fights, play the perfect split push. They won't be able to go high ground easily. That's where the Gyrocopter is going to work really nicely to just counter push, but it's too good. Had to do it.
It's a really good pick. I think so. Going into this game, if we were to say that these two teams are evenly matched in terms of skill, which I think is hard to say when you've seen how good LGD has been and how they won last game, but I feel much better about OG's chances in this game. And if those teams were same skill, I would say OG has an advantage heading into this game, but I don't know, man. Like, how did they get this Invoker?
It's the outplay from game one, right? Maybe LGD is looking to challenge themselves early on.
I don't think so.
TI, whatever, things on the line, and oh, whoops, I lost this game, so now we're dropped into the lower bracket.
So there's multiple things here, right? Remember when we looked at the first phase, we were like, oh, they're picking the Morphling because they want to intimidate them to not pick Gyro.
Yeah.
I was just like, well, we'll pick it anyway. Okay, so this Morphling will have Flat Cannon. Please. Turns into Gyro. They have Mana Burn against Necrophos, Lion, and Wraith King on the Invoker. There's no way Thompson doesn't play Quaswex in this game. It's super good. And OG has a strong offlaner. I think Nature's Prophet is one of the absolute strongest laners this patch. The reason it doesn't get that much love is what do you do next? Like, how do you... It's really, really good to win lanes this patch, and you definitely want to do it. But Furion feels like that type of hero where if you make one or two mistakes, you can fall off really fast, and you need to ride this, like... You need to ride the wave in the game. But if things click for OG in this one, it definitely looks solid. That's not to say that LGD's draft isn't good, because it is. It's like in isolation, you look at this like LGD lineup, you're like, wow, this is a really good draft. But with what they're facing, I dare say this will definitely be a closer game than the last one.
Yeah.
So.
And I'm just happy for that. I'm just looking forward to a nice, close matchup. And it looks like the lanes, obviously the teams are on the same side, so it's LGD on the Dire side. So they're going to try this IR Gyrocopter top lane. It'll be against Anna, so they are taking the Morphling to the off lane to go with Jirax, and they're putting Seb on the safe lane Prophet and leaves Thompson mid. And then No Talent moving around as the Silencer. And once again, it's like they're not changing anything. The Necro in mid is the change-up for the Lina with Somnus. And then they have Chalice as well as X-Nova, the off-lane. And we got Lion and Wraith King once again.
Yep.
This, do I feel like LGD are now OGing this? Hey guys, we just changed one hero. and we'll play this entire tournament with exactly the same draft.
Well, OG definitely didn't OG it based on what you said going into the tournament. They kept playing the same thing over and over in the qualifier. This is 5 new heroes. They didn't play any of these last games, so they're completely switching it up in their strategy. A lot of new stuff. Wait, what is that taunt I'm hearing?
It's the dance of the Wraith King.
That plays that sound?
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
It does. Alright, Seb. Oh, Nortel, they thought they can get in on this one. They get the curse onto 2, but it's now Nature's Prophet isolated. X-Nova was here too, so Seb needs a body block with his streams, but that won't work. The hand grabs forward, so Nortel can at least steal one of the runes, but he'll have to wait another 6 seconds before he can TP out.
It'll be fine, though. They're not going to chase him down. Maybe he has to go back to the mid lane. And the Wraith King plus Lion lane wants to be in position from the get-go here with the creeps.
I actually TP Nortel towards the top lane straight away. So they're actually going to force this into an aggressive tri-lane for OG and let Seb do his work on bottom. Do you actually then change your lane as LGD to the response of this, or are you just happy seeing Chalice get farm? Because this looks like a hard lane for FY and Artmate to battle in, even if they do go for the normal like flat cannon early start.
This is one of those things that I have a bit of a hard time deciding in games that I play. Like, what's the solution
FY.
to? Oh, he's
that damage.
Like, what's the solution to tri-lanes? Are you like, okay, you know what? You guys are 3 heroes sharing experience, and this patch is not very good. You can't pull in the same way and build your advantage. And then at the same time, well, we have a 2-on-1, so we can crush that lane. But in this situation, can you really crush the Nature's Prophet with these 2? And how much do you suffer with your 2 in the safe lane? This tri-lane might actually work out very well.
You don't crush him, and then what? LGD is going to bring support up to the top lane and not in the mid lane with the Invoker going course to X. He wants more time just to sit here and to level up and have that short space to have his normal one-on-one matchup. And
I'm thinking, if you bring up the Lion, do you even win this lane? Like, that's the other thing. Do they feel like they can match? I think they're outmatched in the lane, even 3-on-3. And I'm saying that with a Shaker on one side, but it's just the Morphling is going to have a great time in this lane.
Yeah,
he is.
And Jirax is just positioning himself. He's just looking for the stun. He actually wanted FY then, because that's the target they went for before. Jirax, okay, careful. Is he just trying to provide vision so they get another curse off? Is support going to arrive? Arme, waveform forward. Anna goes after. He's got the creep wave with him. FY so low on life. No-Tail, that one last attack into the trees. It will not be enough. They'll have time, and FY can just salve back up Arme as well as himself. The fissure did not connect onto FY, so they just rocket barrage into No-Tail. And this aggressive lane of OG was meant to help punish, but the sustain, the positioning is too good from LGD.
That was also a pretty big mistake, I think. They're really overextending there. Throwing out the extra glaives on the gyrocopter was completely unnecessary. They know there's a flask on the IO, so...
They just kept chasing him. TP support, a quick tornado. He'll buy time for No-Tail to get his own curse off. Thompson wants to try and turn around, gets the call snap onto Somnus underneath the tower. There's still a creep wave taking damage, but here comes the extra support. Jirax needs to hit on the stun. He's got Fissure available, and Somnus, he's got 4 stick charges up, hasn't burned them. He'll go Shroud first, turns around with both death balls as well as the stick charges, and Jirax is forced to retreat. Thompson comes back once more. Cold Snap's coming back off cooldown to a second round onto Somnus, working with No-Tail. One more attack, won't miss up the hill, so +2 for Silencer, while Exnova turns onto the Earthshake into the tree line. One fissure will do it, and another +2 in for No-Tail.
One of my favorite. This is something I wasn't thinking about when this game started. I actually really like this pairing of Silencer and Invoker. The Arcane Curse with Cold Snap is very strong. It was super annoying for Somnus to deal with there. And I thought he might survive because he got Ghost Shroud off and the Flask and Stick. He healed from 10% to full. So they basically killed him twice. But it worked out.
They're burning through so many consumables too. Like FY was bringing so much to the top lane. Another double curse for No-Tail. He's got nothing really left. Like in a minute and a half, you know he's going for that shrine.
That's the Soul Ring for FY though.
Yep.
Yeah, I would say after this...
they're going in. There's your tether forward. The second they have it, they always love doing it. And FY, so low in life, even the courier. Did they actually stop to attack that? Meaning FY, the curse is ticking him down. He needs to regenerate. The Tango will help him. Arme so low too, 12 HP. This heal from FY's Tango kept him alive, but it can't keep FY up. Arme just licking his wounds underneath the tier 1 tower.
That was so close. Definitely looked like OG would have been able to get both kills if they didn't get that attack off on the courier instead.
Love the turn from Thompson. He needed a little bit of space so Somnus can't cancel the regeneration rune that he just picked up. And Thompson's taking every kind of bit of high ground advantage he can. They've just switched the sides of the lanes. Meanwhile on bottom lane, Seb is now the #1 CS'er.
Yep.
So all this space that gets created, high levels up for the Nature's Prophet, heavy push, here comes your skeleton minions running forward on the stun, Earthshaker's on the way, he can get himself a double fissure, able to do so, no real totem stun to follow up, they'll have to get rid of the skeleton minions, Seb's able to do it. Wraith Fire Blast from Challenge. He'd like to throw out another one and get these Wraith King skeletons to focus onto the Nature's Prophet. That's why he cuts through the tree lines. And Jirax, a perfect body block. A Sprout for extra defense. And Nature's Prophet just a TP out. And Jirax taking it for the squad.
Oh,
That was...
oh, that is really not good from Seb, though.
He canceled the TP.
Yeah, he got scared that they were going to kill him if he completed that TP, but that's a big loss for him.
Arme's going ham on top lane, but Notel, here comes your tether forward, so Notel will die. Anna can get the kill, but then FY, he's still got a couple of sprites left over, as well as some stick charges. Yeah, Anna's going to be okay, but no +2 for the silencer.
That's a good trade still for OG, getting the kill on them, Morphling, getting the gyro kill. It's very big. They need... This top lane, I think, is the... It just didn't go as well as OG would have liked early on, so they're a bit in recovery mode on that top lane, so getting the kill for Morph is very important. Now, I've been very impressed with how LGD managed to play that 2-on-3 lane, by the way. They really played on the edge and took advantage of the small mistakes, like the little things OG do wrong in the lane, they punished really hard. I'm still saying that, but
I'm still curious though if they're punished hard enough. Like, they have the #1 net worth, but we know that OG's lineup works really well against LGDs, so they're ahead for now. But the Invoker, like, base boots are on the way in just a bit.
Thompson.
Yeah, he's worried, but I think they already saw the movement of X Nova before.
He's dead if he gets stunned. He's got to be really careful here.
He's hit 6, he's got Tornado EMP, Somnus and X Nova run forward, there's your stun available, Thompson, and they sight them down. Somnus was dropping so low, Seb will arrive too, thought about the Sprout, but into that Ghost Shroud, he just hides it up, still got 10 stick charges available. And Somnus will be able to retreat back out again. Meanwhile, the Gyrocopter did go down.
And the IO.
That's they lost both on the safe lane.
Wrath of Nature reveal. It's so strong when you're playing these lanes. I think Wrath of Nature...
The scan! Jirax, oh, he misses the stun! The Observer Ward. He saw X Nova for just a little bit of a line. Now the stun will be available. Somnus, he's got to turn for the Fissure, and he cannot do it in time. FY just TPs in, brings the extra damage. Meanwhile, on bottom lane, Charles is doing what Wraith Kings do best when they get high levels up in the Immortal Strike. It's goodbye tier 1 tower.
Yep.
Well, these TPs. Thompson, EMP, Tornado, Burn, combining up with a Cold Snap. Jirax has the follow-up control. Fissure available too, and he body blocks out Chalice. Now he can Fissure block him as well, holding in Chalice. And Thompson, he turned around to actually farm up the creeps. They didn't find the extra damage. You will lose top lane as Io locked in, silenced up. Seb came in to join him this fight as more +2s. Wraith King is still on the run. Rotations coming in from Somnus, so maybe a missed opportunity down on bottom lane for OG, but they still capitalize on top. Nice
detail from Somnus there when he walked up the high ground. He made sure to pretend he didn't see Jirax. He saw him the whole time, but he walked up and then he like sidestepped like he was, oh, there's a Shaker. So he didn't give away his ward. Very nice.
Arme's in trouble. Another curse coming in. X Nova's going to arrive, misses the stun onto Notel, who is able to get the curse over onto line, and thanks to the Sprout from Seb, Notel's got more distance. Arme turns on the Flak, and Charles has joined the fight as well. X Nova will go down. They want to be able to TP out this one. Notel, he's starting it off. Anna now waits it out. He wanted to wait and be the attention creator to allow the rest of his team to get back out.
Yep, they do full disengage. Still, it's very interesting to look at the levels of this game, actually, when you look across these heroes. There's the offlaners, which are, in this game, the safe laners are high level, and the mid laners, but the carries are both level 5, minute 9 from this early chaotic laning stage. And for OG, it makes sense, right? They started as 3 for quite a while, but the amount of pressure they managed to put on the gyro has still limited Ame enough that he's also only sitting on that 5.
They're going to have a crack towards mid. Tornado EMP, they need to keep these chain stuns going onto the Necro, so there's no mana to work with. A follow-up Fissure, but Necro, that Ghost Shroud plus stick charges, the hit won't miss uphill. And once again, Notel has the RNG with him, and LGD has the entire team with him, practically. Io's the only one who's not here. Now connect onto the missile. Onto Jirax, another quick curse. Jirax, he's got a little life to work with. Looks for the follow-up stun, keeping Gyrocopter in the fog of war. You'll lose Notel. It's a bit of a spree to take, but the ES will survive.
In the meantime, it's a lot of space for Ana. He's getting the top tier 1 tower. I think this exchange for OG, getting the Necro kill for this, is worth it if they don't lose their mid tier 1 now. They're going to try to TP in and defend. Oh, this... Oh, that's actually fine.
Curse on the Chalice, maybe not so fine. That may almost be enough to pop his Ankh. 1 charges, no, keeps him up. Fissure didn't connect in time. X Nova dies back behind the tier 1 tower.
Notel has been really involved, by the way. We haven't looked at this yet, but he has stolen 18 intelligence, minute 10.
Yeah.
He's been in the AoE for 9 of their kills. Oh, excellent. Interesting fight top.
Yeah, Somnus versus Morphling. It's the same versus the same. Here comes your curse. Notal again. He's got that last word available in half a second, and he's using it onto X-Nova so they can guarantee the kill onto the Lion. The scythe, it doesn't do enough work. Necro's gonna fall as well. Plus 22 for the silencer. That's one smart blade thrower. Not to mention they now see a very nice stack to farm too. Shame there's no gyrocopter to steal flat cannon from.
This is a very different game from the last one. And it seems that what has really stifled LGD in this game is just how slowly Ame has come online. The gyrocopter has not been that much of a factor yet.
Yep.
Now he's level 6, closing in on level 7, so we'll see if they can find openings in this game to pull it back. I think the hero you want to play around is this Wraith King Blink Dagger. That's what LGD are waiting for, and then they're going to try to strike. Nice fissure.
Perfect fissure block from Jirax. Charles thought he had a small opening to get back out, but now Global Silence is up. Lion can do nothing to help the Wraith King, so his reincarnation will pop. Io, is he going to bring in extra help? Yep, the relocate, it should be coming in just behind the lines. And Thompson, he saw it. He got the tornado off onto FY as well as Army, but it's still not enough. That flat cannon damage, he doesn't have the cooldown. It was on cooldown for an extra 2 seconds. The Fissure Stun is available. FY will pull him out in 1 second's time, and it's just not enough. Barely killing off the gyrocopter, and now X-Nova revealed by the Treants. He'll be able to escape. They want the bigger ones. They wanted Chalice, but a tower denied from Thompson. I think that's actually the second tier 1 tower to fall, and both have been denied by OG.
Oh,
got him.
Oh, I can tell you from experience that feels so good. That is the best. Just getting a fog finger of death kill on a carry.
Coming over. It's a good curse, but Thompson, has he got the movement speed to get out of this one? He does not. FY, low on life. Notal with another +2. 26 intelligence stolen. X-Nova. Seb couldn't trap him in. Jirax's fissure won't be able to arrive in time either, so instead they can look towards the Wraith King. They know his reincarnation is down for so long. There's your fissure, create some space, lock him in with a Sprout, and Notal on 10 HP will get the kill onto Chalice. A big spree to end, and they're just tipping him. It's not like he's got enough. 28 stolen intelligence now.
He has so much mana to work with. I wonder if they're going to try to give no-tail items in this game in some way or not. Because they need the... Shaker is not the kind of hero where like, you know what? Don't worry, man. I'll play 5 this game with a Soul Ring minute 30. He has to get a dagger eventually, so they can't really pass no-tail over into a true 4, but just look at how strong he could be with this extra 28 int. It really matters.
He could make a Silencer like Silencer has all these DPS talents. He can run him as a core with the attack speed, the attack range, and then having the Glaive of Wisdom with his change up with Aghanim.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Is he really going to get level 25 this game, Toby? I don't think so.
Well, this game may go on for a while. LGD can defend the high ground pretty well, so if OG...
Silencer support like never gets 25.
Yeah.
Almost never, at least. But it could happen.
You can just think of the dream. A 3-man smoke up. It was out of range of any LGD observer would, and they're looking to wrap around the back. They already had their own deeper obs down. As FY looks like he's going to be target number 1. Thompson rotates up. Tornado EMP. Jirax into range for the fidget control, and Notal +30. Just watch that counter. Tick, 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 boom.
And we got a mid tower at the same time. I like this play from OG a lot. It's one of those plays that can backfire, where you show presence in mid with 2 of your cores and you're hitting the tower, and the enemy team's like, oh, they're protected by the supports. But the supports are off making another move. But what if LGD had jumped the mid while they were doing that? That could have turned out pretty bad for them, but they play aggressively, they pose aggressively, and they get the job done. Kill and tower at no cost.
That's a lot of vision in range of each other. 2 observer wards near the Ancients.
Yeah, I don't like this warding. I don't think it's that good.
I think they did it because like Notal was picking out Roshan, so it was priority number 1, but they needed to push the top lane back before they could go in for Roshan. And maybe they also feel like LGD are nowhere near strong enough to actually contest him.
It's like if you look at the way these wards are placed, right? The ward in the middle of the 3 is probably not necessary, right? You could place that closer to the pit where Jerax just pinged. If you have it on the lower ground there and you break smoke, you have some good info.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Now Jerax has to stand there. But no one's coming for them, and they've got the sustain. That's an early mech on the Nature's Prophet.
Mech?
Yeah, he's going real classico here.
Excuse me, what year is it? That is actually that's a retro build. Seb's a hipster.
You know, he always wants to have like something like, but it's so this mech, I'm still not feeling that they can push into LGD. Like, I still don't think they can take high ground with it, right? Or is it meant to be just enough they can keep the creep wave alive, they can go in? Because you got Death Pulse, you got Skeleton Minions, you got Flat Cannon.
I just think that the call for the team is the way we're going to itemize Fury on this game is we're going to use him as an aura bot. So he's going to get Mech, Crimson, and Pipe. Maybe Pipe, we'll see. But
okay,
looks like Crimson is the choice for now against the Gyrocopter. Obviously a great item against that hero.
They're looking to defend bottom.
But yeah, I think I would have liked to see the Crimson first more, actually. I don't blame him for going Mech. The item isn't that great right now compared to what it has been, but it can still be good sometimes. It's
when
more...
Armies had such a bad start, like I can blame him even.
No.
They actually got the stun. That Tornado, it's a long range one. Chalice will blink, but he doesn't get down the ramp. But there's no Observer Ward to really see anything to play from there. And okay, I need to...
What you doing? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the rebind. Doesn't let you use F1 as that, but I'm a stubborn mule. I like my F1 for all fog vision. Alright, so they may deward one of the obs, and maybe that was another part of the shady plan. Oh, they got one of our obs. They would never have committed 2 to this area.
Wait, which one did they get?
They haven't got it yet. They put the sentry in the low ground.
I see it.
But that's a nice stack to farm up. Alacrity buff up as well onto a Morphling.
Yeah, OG are gonna take the stack and then they're gonna go top tier 2. It's so weird looking at a level 9 Morphling minute 17. It's the levels of this game are interesting.
Doesn't feel natural, right? It's a level 12 Necro. He's number 1 on the field.
First item Mules. I like this a lot. He needs a way of solving the EMP problem, and he's planning to just dodge it simply with this Yules, and it's also good against Silencer, obviously, so it's like a multi-purpose item, this game. Both of those spells are great to avoid. I don't know if going Yule's Blink is going to work, though. I think he has a lot of weight on his shoulders to do damage in the fights and be a threat. And right now, he doesn't threaten that much, except from Reaper.
Like, if Jirax continues to get the space he's getting up on top lane, you get that Blink Echo Slam, there is no response from Necro. Like, the Yule Scepter won't be able to save him. So when you think of, like, Aeon Disc or something, like some level of protection to the burst pop.
He'll need that later, but I don't know. It's tricky, right? Because you pick this Necrophos early in the draft, and it's been countered a lot. It's like, what do you even buy? Like, what do you buy so you feel good in this game? Yep. The Yules is definitely a good purchase, but what's your next item? What feels nice to buy?
You need a way to stop. You need to stop EMP burn too. I guess he doesn't have enough to continuously. I think like
what he's going for. What he's going for is he will walk into the fight, make people cast spells, stay alive, Yules, and then blink out. I think that's what he wants the dagger for. He needs to reset his position, or he will die when he comes down from Yules. It's not enough to protect him. Especially when this Morphling gets big later, you would imagine he wants to go for perhaps an E-Blade later.
They almost got the Asher on the courier.
Oh.
And fortified up, and they had no kill potential available. Okay. But this does reveal OG's LGD's position. The fact that we're trying to flank around, looking for their own fight.
He doesn't want to go E-Blade at all on the Morph, actually. He's going full-on combat build. Yasha into BKB. E-Blade is really good against Necro, but he's probably looking at the bigger picture. He wants to hit as hard as possible when he steals Flat Cannon. That's got to be the idea here.
But do you just keep it as a casual Yasha? Like, it's...
Yeah, it's still a really good item, I think. It did get nerfed, but it costs more and the Manta is cheaper. But it's a valuable item.
I like how they keep looking for the fight up on top lane, and then Thompson's Forged Spirit drags the mid lane over. Like, I was thinking that Nature's Prophet would be the real pain in the butt when it comes to the laning phase for LGD, but Thompson's making the real use of the Forged Spirits.
Yep.
And it means it frees up Seb. Like, he just shoves the middle lane even harder. They could look for another tower. And LGD, the one big thing they've got going for them is this bottom lane. The fact that the tier 1 tower is still up and standing.
He just went Shadowblade on the Nature's Prophet now.
Wait, what?
Okay, now I don't know what's going on anymore.
He had Glimmer Cape lined up originally. Alright, well, he's able to at least walk up to the Wraith King. Beyond that, he needs to wait a little bit longer. Here comes your Sprout. Jirax comes in through the side. Stun will not be able to connect. Fissure is available, and they just waveform. They want this Wraith King dead. So that's number 1. They'll need a second attempt.
Perfect timing on the enchant. Very nice.
And they've got him. +2. Been a while since I've said that for Notel. 32 intelligence stolen. We've got some dumb people on LGD right now.
Oh, Thompson is visible. FY dropped the sentry. So I guess obviously, what you use Shadowblade for in Nature's Prophet is setting up ganks. It really didn't look like that was their game plan when they bought the mech. It's like, you know, sometimes you have a bit of both worlds, and it's worse sometimes than just having one thing you're really strong at, right? Like he's a bit of a jack of all trades, but a master of none right now, and you gotta wonder. Wait, that's not. He's going Hex now. Okay, so he's really itemizing into the catch now.
Yeah.
I mean, I can be down with that. I just feel like maybe the mech wasn't worth it then.
Yeah.
If that's what he's going.
Maybe they just
they changed their minds. I think they changed their plan.
Maybe it could also just be that safety thing. Like, I want to ensure that we're going to have a really good team fight, no matter what happens, or that we get a really strong push. Mech is able to do that for you. And then you realize that there's no point itemizing any harder into it because you still need to now kill off LGD if you want to go high ground. You need the gank ability. So they find the second obs. They didn't. So Xnova de-warded the observer ward that was on the hillside, and then he thought, oh yeah, so it's not here anymore, and they put the observer ward to the east. So they put down 3 sentry wards all around the obs, and he's just walked underneath one of them. Global silence. Looks like it's helping Topson to escape, but more importantly, it's Arme as well as FY teaming up together to get the kill into Jirax. Let the split shots fly, but now Ana waveforms up. Arme runs down. Chalice can't find, actually does hit, but not strong enough. Arme's gonna fall. Chalice into the tree lines 12 seconds before the Ank's back off cooldown, and he just jukes it perfectly. Blinks up and away.
Seb got Reapered. In the meantime, that's a big kill for Somnus, but overall, great sequence from OG here. I thought that was perhaps going to be a bad fight for them with Shaker dying and not even getting spells off. The BKB Gyro caught them by surprise, I think. But still, we see it here. The Gyro has isolated him here. They've used Global. They will get the Shaker kill, but this Flak Cannon is owning.
Yeah.
It kills the Wisp in the backline up to the top right. Waveform doesn't connect, doesn't matter. They eventually chase down this Gyro. And if Seb doesn't die to the Reaper there, it's a really big win. It's still a solid win for OG in that fight.
Oh, we come back live. Just a little bit too late. Tornado does grab the Wraith King, but Topson waited a fraction of a second too long. No-Tail's going to sentry just in case they had the vision, but they did, but it was a long time before. It was the Observer Ward next to the Tier 1 tower on top lane. That sees everything. Seb? Courier Snipe. Rest for everyone that saw it. Oh, that's done. Xnova came quick for a man who's only got Tranquil Boots in his stick. He doesn't even have 1,400 net worth.
That was close.
But probably worth it. Observer Ward's going to be de-warded. That's a quick and easy one. EMP Tornado going to miss Chalice, who once again is very quick on the blink.
They still haven't found the ward. The sentries are just outside range, both of them.
Yeah. There was 3 of them.
Oh, Seb bought him. He already used a Shadowblade. He is toast.
Trigger the mech, give some armor, and still die. Oh. You got OG still hunting with the rest of the team. Like, this isn't the first time we've seen OG just, like, lose a hero. They do this 4-1 split, but normally it's Ana they're buying more and more space for to get bigger and bigger.
Yep.
But Ana's the man on the front lines while Seb's doing the back.
Ana is definitely very farmed. He keeps accelerating because of his build-up with the Dragonlance Yasha. He transitioned into a Lycans, and now BKB's on the menu next.
He's just fissuring to try and get the jump away. Chalice able to connect on the stun. Somnus is on his way over, has a blink of his own. Global silence. Ana jumps him through the rear. He comes in as the Morphling to find his own stun, but they've already lost the ES, and now Ana very much stranded. Finger of death, and now the scythe. It was denied before by the global silence, but it will not be denied this time. 77 seconds. The Morphling's going to be dead, and Roshan spawns in 50.
That's such a big moment for LGD, and what sets all of this up is that Invoker's on the opposite side of the map. This time, OG are not together, and without Topson's control, even though they get the global off, like they can't chain the global with anything. They tried to save Jerax from the Reaper, which they actually did, and because they saved him from the Reaper, the Morphling died to Reaper. So the global might have actually been counterproductive in that situation, but you get why they're doing it. It's just, yeah.
That's a hard one to call out. It's like, well... You know,
yeah,
it's like Disrupt a Glimpse. I think this is a really good idea. Wait, no, it wasn't.
Yeah. That's a big loss, though. The kill on Ana is really big. If they got the Shaker, you know, it's passable. But that Morphling kill is a 3,000 or 4,000 gold swing, actually, what just happened. That is super big.
Yeah. the experience swing too. Like that's now LGD having a commanding lead for the first time this game.
Yep.
And Thompson's just having to wait in the tree lines. They may look for a fight once he reveals himself with a tornado. That could do it. TP scroll is available, and now he's starting it off as Somnus blinks forward, doesn't find the target. He's still in the trees. But OG's just finding their space now. It's 150 gold before Thompson's got his Aghanim Scepter. No-Tail's building in towards the Glimmer Cape. Seb is okay. Like he's a Mystic Staff worth of money away from having his Scythe. And you got the Manta Style from Ana. He's an Ultimate Orb away from this.
Oh, he changed his mind, huh?
Yeah,
I thought he was going to
back
finish.
for the Manta.
It looked like he was going Yasha BKB. Then he went Yasha Linken's. Then he was going Linken's BKB. And now he's going Linken's Manta. He's changing his mind a lot. And
you think about what he dodges there. Like it's just so like Wraithfire Blast doesn't connect. It's
such a good BKB game. He will get it. It's just I don't know if this is the right order of buying these items. I think OG are missing a timing by not having a BKB on Morph right now. Because I think if they have a BKB on Morph and they get the jump, the Morph is going to kill everyone.
Unless the timing is to just delay this game even more and more. Like, and you almost split push with the Manta Style up a lane.
I guess they could do that, but it's not out of the question. They have really good split push lineup. They have Nature's Prophet, Invoker, and Morph, so it's definitely playable that way. It's just they're doing split push into relocate. It's always dangerous. Like, you gotta be really careful.
Like, do they even win this game late game? Like, to just push this into split push, like, eventually...
That is very debatable.
Like who caps out? When there's Reaper's Scythe on the field, I always worry.
Yeah, I really like both lineups late game. I don't think... I don't necessarily think OG need to worry about going late. It's just they had this game under control, and they lost it in the last few minutes, so...
Oh, tier 1 tower on the top lane is finally being pushed in from LGD. They had vision to do it previously. There's a blink into the tree, so Jirax, level 2 Echo Slam, ready to roll. Very dangerous thing for LGD when they have a large amount of skeleton minions pushing the lane. But LGD feel it, and they're going to back up. They didn't de-ward the sentry wall because they didn't want to reveal their position. And OG... Now they have no issue about doing that. And again, they look towards Roshan. He is up. This is Aegis and Cheese. So critical one for OG to claim if they want to ensure the next team fight belongs to them. So they go into the pit. But LGD are very aware of what's going on. It's that observer what they have on the Radiant hillside. They shouldn't have it for long yet. Now they see it, but the jump comes in. It's on to Silence, and the Scythe will kill him off. No-Tail has buyback available, and he pops the Global Silence while Jarakup has already popped the BKB. Seb can't complete his TP out. Ana wants to try and buy a little bit of space. He can at least kill off FY, then goes into being the Wraith King as Morphling. More buybacks coming in from OG, and they're looking for it. They've got the trap onto Arme. The Sprout is down the waveform forward. Gyrocopter is down. Chalice jumps in, still with the reincarnation available. As Thompson, who's the one who's being locked down. Somnus, the Cold Snapper's onto him, so Thompson get a little bit more space and battle against Chalice. Tornado doesn't catch Somnus as well, but they can isolate the Wraith King. The reincarnation will pop once more as No-Tail and Ana, they chase down Somnus, and Chalice can just blink away, but Prophet, TP's over. They're waiting for the Fissure for the right time. He's silenced up. Here comes the Fissure, pushes him out of the Sprout. That was not the right time, but a kill is a kill. They still claim him. Wraith King down for 50 seconds without any buyback. OG can claim Roshan. There was a cost, but it's going to belong to them.
And what was very, very important in this situation is that the Reaper gets used on the Silencer in the opening. That's the one piece that LGD are missing when this fight goes long, is that they don't have the Reaper for a core. They can't Reaper Thompson, they can't Reaper Ana, and OG know it. They're just playing off the fact that Necro doesn't have ulti. It's like, if No-Tail doesn't have buyback in this situation, LGD win that fight probably. But since he does, you know, his next death time will be really long.
Yep.
But until then, this is definitely, it's good for them. And in a way, you could say it's a little bit fortunate, right? Like, they managed to stand under a ward and give LGD the opportunity, but the one jump they could find was not the one that they needed. Yep. The Reaper on Silencer, if they could have killed him without Reapering, that could have been really good for them.
Yeah. Instead, OG pulls the Homer to succeed without even really trying. LGD, of course they're trying. But so Seb, Ana, like they're trying to remove this last outer tower. Still pushing high ground is an absolute nightmare. Like Arme went through that entire fight. I think he got his flat cannon charges off, but he never had the stuns as well. And I don't believe he even got the cooldown off. There goes the tier 2 tower on bottom lane. Where are you going?
It's still, net worth wise, it's a close game, but
Yeah.
It doesn't. Oh, this is a really big item actually. The BKB.
The BKB stun.
Yeah. It just feels like OG are in more control than 2K. You know, like when you look at the map, they're.
It's like it's OG's fight to find. Like they push in the bottom lane, they burn off all the mana of Charles. He has no reincarnation in this phase, but that's the reason why you got 1 charges as well as FY to bring him back up. The fortifications used, the tier 3 tower, to bring this down such a huge thing for OG, because then they can start claiming shrines. But they don't need to force it. They can wait it up. They still have Aegis, they still have Cheese. And they've still got like pretty much map control, thanks to the movement of Seb. And he's looking for X Nova in the trees. Have they got extra help?
Well, who's looking for who?
Yeah, relocate. Global silence, it cancels him! Io can't complete it! And now it's nice that X Nova doing his own TP out. He'll be successful. But global silence, we kind of got to remember the new Io.
Yep.
And because they don't get that kill, Seb now has enough money to finish up his Scythe. They could have delayed that item for a little bit longer.
That is a really big part of the silencer counterpick to Io when we saw it in the draft. That is extremely useful. Being able to just cancel out relocates with it. It's the new disruptor, if you will, for that reason.
Yeah, we're looking for the counter. You do still want to have it for team fights. Ana.
Oh, he got the flag.
The gyrocopter and then lets it rip. Arme has to go into that BKB. X Nova cannot stand close by. He lets off the stun as well as the Hexa. Can stop a lot of the damage, but now Reaper's Scythe flies forward. Thompson just tanks through it. Deafening Blast pushing back the gyrocopter as Wraith King is the one who's isolated. There's the Soul and Homing Missile who's going towards him at the moment. He'll be fine.
Yeah, they tried to Reaper burst Thompson, but the mech came in. I think the connecting damage from LGD just wasn't in range either. They didn't get a finger off before that the Reaper snapped. So this is big. No BKB on Gyro.
And
OG
they're pushing,
refilled.
They're pushing all lanes. Like Seb's taking this tier 3 tower on bottom lane with no contest. Charles wants to blink in, but you've got Invis.
He does it too late. He mistimed it.
And the mid lane. Tier 3 tower will be lost there. Somnus with a quick aggressive blink forward. And you'll be alive with Death Pulse. Homing Missile. Easy money. And now they can take the shrines. Ana looks like such a beast too when they give him Alacrity. Like you give him Alacrity, it's got the Aegis, so
Alacrity flat cannon? That's pretty stupid.
Yeah. And that becomes Necro for healing.
He's still not going BKB now. I kind of like in this situation not going BKB now, because he has an Aegis and they're in this good position, so they can try to play around the Aegis. At the same time though, if they don't get immediate value out of this Aegis, he's still playing with a risk of getting locked down and killed. There's so many targeted instant stuns or fast stuns. Wraith King stun, Lion Hex, Mono Drain to take off the Lincolns, Impale. Even in the middle of these chaotic fights, a homing missile can actually be super annoying. So you gotta be on your toes as Morphling without BKB.
What do you think about the Slammer Shaker? We're getting an Aghanim Scepter build from Jirax.
Yeah, I think this item is really good now. Actually,
it's actually changed because normally it was like that.
Yeah, the jump is better. I think I don't remember the exact change, but I think you jump faster. That's what comes to mind.
Cast range increased from 900 to 1100 was the last one.
Yeah, I think there was one before that too with cast, like just the jump speed or something. I personally have not purchased Ags on this hero for 2 years, so but I've seen other players use it.
Oh, Ana. Nice stun, run away. Homing Missile still behind him. Chalice wants to go for the fight. Aegis Immortal, it does time out.
Yeah. Well, now that's a risk.
That's why LGD were looking for that fight in the first place. They want to hit that perfect moment to kill him off, but now Thompson, Jirax, does actually get the stun onto the gyrocopter. But they don't really have the right line for it as Wraith King BKBs dodges the Wraith Fire Blast coming out from Ana, but Charles is BKB. It's the 10-second duration one that he's popped, and he hasn't really found anyone. In fact, they kited him out, and then they look towards FY instead, who has to tether himself down to the bottom lane to defend against the push onto the rack. Sunstrike, well, we haven't heard of one of those, and the Echo Slam! Jirax arrives with a 3-man hit! hits it absolutely perfectly, but then the follow-up global silence. Arme, he's going in real deep. They have that first kill. It's over onto Seb. No buyback available for him. The Scythe comes down to onto Thompson. He'll get the cheese off. The Scythe did not find the kill, and now Wraith King, another follow-up stun. Waveform forward. They'll break the ank on him, but the Hex onto Anna in the backlines, really problematic. They'll be able to isolate him up. He's got no escape really to work with. Waveform in 1 second, but 1 second is too long. Thompson now has to just run himself out. No Tail was able to TP away to safety, but LGD just have the greatest fight.
Oh, there's some beautiful irony in that. Like, gets the Echo Slam, they jump in, they drop the chat wheel lines, and they just lose the fight horribly. Oh god. You know, let's concentrate a little bit more on playing your heroes instead of dropping the chat lines. Who knows what happens? I think OG were just feeling really good about that fight. They got outplayed. Like, it looked like a good echo and a good follow-up from the Furion. However, Furion did get killed. They got a Reaper off. Like you said, they did cheese it with Thompson, so he stayed alive, but it's just LGD were in control after the first 5 to 10 seconds of that fight. If they survive that echo and the global, and OG don't find kills in it, well, what do they do against this Wraith King who just jumps at them? What do they do about the Gyro who has the backup of the IO? They didn't have the damage. And now, guess what Morphling's doing, Toby? He's like, alright,
maybe I should get a BKB.
Turns out I need it anyway. And yeah.
But he's a long way away. Like, I'd say, well, he was a long way away. He's actually 3.5k. Yeah, never mind, he's actually perfectly alright for a BKB timing. Plus 35 alacrity, damage,
so
speed.
We're gonna see it here. So here's the Echo Slam. Invoker's a little bit far behind, actually, but he doesn't seem to have the right spells ready, so they do get the Echo, but there's no direct follow-up to prevent the BKB from Gyro from going off. He chases down the Shaker. This Reaper does not give him the kill, but you look over the Dire side, they're relatively healthy, right? Like, the IO is half HP, Wraith King still has ulti ready.
We get to come back alive. LGD were coming for an invasion, but Anna was there to find him, so the Gyrocopter dies very early on. There's a space-creating tornado, which actually clips onto the IO. Charles will begin his BKB. The damage output is high enough to break him. FY completes his TP out. Charles will not be so lucky. A quick mech, no follow-up damage. No Tail could survive. Plus 40 now for the Silencer. A regeneration rune if somebody wants that. I think Anna will be very happy to claim it. And 2 heroes down where they want to force a buyback, and no Echo Slam used from Jirax.
And no global. They have both spells still.
Oh boy, and now Blink 4 could have actually done it instantly onto X-Nova, but it does not come as a fissure instead. They have no vision inside the base, nor any defensive sentry wards up from LGD.
Here comes Anna with Alacrity. Alright.
And 1 buyback. They'd like to have the second onto the Gyrocopter, and then probably the fallback. Remember, they do not have the Aegis the Immortal anymore. Echo Slam, Jirax goes again, and then the jump up and away to absolutely nowhere. He'll be scythed down for all of his good deeds, and maybe this is enough space. The buybacks are already fully out from LGD, and there's full retreat now from OG. Maybe not enough when Invoker, Yule stepped it up. Thompson gets hit by the missile. He's got no way to escape out. 2 heroes from OG down. They're both dead for a very long period of time. Waveform away. Morphling will be able to dodge that Wraithfire blast. But now LGD, they're hoping Roshan's going to be up, but they're going to wait a minute and a half for it to happen. Meanwhile, they did lose their bottom range racks while the fight was going on.
Well, they actually don't have buybacks on OG here. This is really dangerous.
That's why you're seeing Seb already on the bottom lane. He's looking to get that push in to get a counter racks, bring him back home. Yeah,
they do have relocate though. It's tricky to get this done with Huron against this specific hero. We'll see if he can force enough of a rotation that LGD don't just go high ground here.
But it's that timing,
be worried about the buyback.
Like, if LGD go high ground, like, they also have to consider Roshan. So they burn the fortification, they try and delay it up. You've got the long range curses, Chalice jumps in, reincarnation's available. The damage from Anna's pretty damn good, however. And now in trouble, the Scythe! Anna! He'll go down, no buyback! Anna is actually down for the count. Seb is pushing in the bottom lane, so they're looking for a counter Rax. Lion's already coming back over. Watch the IOTP or relocate. They're not bringing everyone back. It's just Arme and X-Nova. And they haven't done the mid-Rax. Charles is still here, but Seb, he comes in from the bottom lane. FY is available, but he doesn't have the mana to actually relocate him out, so Charles will BKB up. Seb will do the same type of thing, turning to hit back into the Wraith King. Sprout's available, he does it on the ground. He couldn't do it on target thanks to BKB, and Charles he's just surviving that tornado. That's a wide ball. FY, he's getting the mana up and running, and he won't require it. Charles able to blink away the fissure, able to connect. Thompson's on the hunt. Goes walking forward, finds a better target over towards the Necro. Now BKB is up, protecting him. All these immunities not available as Jirax, the leaping Earthshaker forward, gets the extra information. FY comes back in to help out, but Jirax jumping forward again with the totem. A double fissure. The control is perfect from OG. Seb with the double kill. They want more. Somnus and Ame, they're just coming in one by one. They feed themselves over to OG, and one by one they continuously pop their BKBs. Relocate. Io's coming back to the front lines. They want the manpower. They want to keep this fight going, and with the slice they bring down Invoker. 130 seconds on the sideline. More seconds than a Fnatic minute game. Notel's on the run. A quick TP out by Prophet. He knows he needs to keep the side lanes going. Notel, Glimmer Cape. Can he juke it? Where's the vision? Follow the hand. That's one way to do it. He'll pick up a regeneration rune. Keep the run going. Turns for a quick curse. He's got a little bit more life, but he doesn't have enough to survive this. But it's enough to delay LGD. They do not claim mid-racks, and they cannot capitalize after it.
That was so... who won that fight? I don't even know. Hang on, let me just check how many buybacks was that. It was like a 15 buybacks. That 1, 2, 3, 4.
So you got four out from LGD, and the buybacks are already back off cooldown from OG.
So OG have not used any buybacks in this situation. They do buy the time, but it's still... They still had to pay a couple of really key kills, so that buybacks from LGD kind of paid for themselves in this. It's like, you imagine, we look at this and we're like, what just happened? Imagine playing in this situation, like, how do you grasp what just happened? How do you feel like, did we win or lose that fight? Like, you just play on, you know? You're like, okay, let's focus on the next objective, which is definitely Roshan here for OG. By the way, we didn't talk about this earlier. Ana took the Morph Target's Allies talent. He used it on Invoker earlier to have 2 Alacrities, and just now I think he had it on Shaker, which is really, really useful, being able to get that second fissure, but of course his primary target will be Gyro for the flak. However, Gyro has Lincolns, so...
Yeah. He's got the protection,
he can't get it.
And now he's going to go in for a Satanic. All the extra life. Hey, if he wants to, Rapier is also on the field, but I don't think they can survive long enough for it. Trees from Seb. Watching Roshan, so as LGD go in, a lot of information. It's a dangerous thing when you have Jirax in the neighborhood, but they have to get rid of the Observe Wall. The stolen gem that Jirax picked up before, he can just jump up there thanks to that Aghanim Scepter. Roshan solo. They need that blink forward. A jump in. Roshan's low. The fissure, Aegis Immortal Cheese, and Refresh Shot all on the ground and all collected up by LGD. OG did not go for the jump. They have to rely totally on these side lanes, delaying the timing now for LGD. The bottom lane's already on its way in. LGD must come home.
And LGD are in the driver's seat now, though. Once they get these lanes pushed out, having this huge advantage of Aegis, Cheese, and Refresher.
They got double Scythe as well on Necro, because he got the Refresher Shard.
He could get Dagon 5. He could also save for buyback. He's working on this buyback as it looks for now. It's a dangerous territory we're into now, because LGD has this life advantage from the Aegis and Cheese, but they don't have buybacks. So this next fight, if it goes poorly for LGD, they just lose the game. If it goes well, it's a matter of how many buybacks does OG actually have to fight with. They don't have one on Morphling. The Furion has his. The Invoker does not have his. OG are actually just...
Everyone's a little short, but they're only
short.
They're only short by about 700, 800 gold. So if they can get something out of that fight, Chalice the Prophet TPing in, they get the Lincoln Sphere trigger off, they want to kill off Chalice as quick as they possibly can, so then they can kill him off again. Alacrity puff-ups, in they come onto the Morphling, he hits like an absolute truck, about 400, and the stun from Jirax could not have timed it any better. The Scythe will be in the back lines, but it's on the Silencer. He can just buy back, get the Global Silence off, allowing Seb to beat the crap out of Lion. Not so much, however. 30 HP, X-Nova will survive, and the rest of OG have TP'd away. Without their Morphling available, they just cannot take this fight anymore.
LGD are doing a really good job at catching Morphling out. He didn't get BKB off in this situation. Ana has to be really, really cautious, because if Lion gets Blink, Mana Drain, Hex on him, he just dies. They actually just take him out from full HP with all of the bursts that they have, and we're going to see the replay here. Morphling, he waveforms away. Actually, we might have to go back to live here. LGD, BKB pop from Gyrocopter.
Yeah, actually, in our live world, they're pushing in onto the mid-racks.
Not too much happening here.
Yep, so here we are, back into live, jump into the back lines, onto Somnus, Seb doing the work, Jirax gets the stun, the follow-up, they kill off the Reaper before he can actually get the Scythe off, before he can get anything off, and Aya will probably join him. The Sunstrike's running the money, FY will pop, and then so many heroes down for LGD. A quick mag, extra life, fight me if you dare, globally throws it out. LGD, 3 heroes down, and it seems like an eternity their death time is.
Yeah, if OG don't screw up here, this should actually just flat out be the end of the game. This was a dangerous thing for LGD. Sure, you've got this Refresher Shard, she's an Aegis, but if you take one bad fight, none of your cores have buybacks. They ran down mid and tried to fight this with their Wraith King dead. Sure, Morphling is dead too, but it's OG's base, it's on OG's terms, and they could have however many buybacks. You don't know. Like, LGD doesn't have the information.
I actually cannot believe, too, the fact that Seb got that jump into the back lines. He doesn't even, like, he came in with a Silver Edge. He didn't even come in with a Blink, and was able to catch out the Reaper.
Oh, did you see what Seb just did?
What?
He TP'd home to let morph into him to TP with him. Now they both have global teleport.
Okay. So one way to get him to the front lines, and there's 2 lanes of Vrax now going the way of OG. They're not going for the GG push. They do have that time, but they don't know that LGD have no buybacks available. They didn't know that the Gyrocopter picked up the Satanic before the fight began. They didn't know about the money. And there's your first buyback. Necro able to get back to the world of the living.
It's not enough.
Yeah, it really isn't. This is going to be a full set of racks as Mega creeps up. They come in for the fight. The Global Silencer's out. Wraith King can't really pop much more. BKB works against him as the Silencer's layers on top. Chalice now isolated. Ana will turn into him. So they're literally hitting themselves. Ana finishes off the racks, and then they can look towards the next target. You can Scythe in the meantime. It's over on the ES. Buyback is in from the Wraith King. Megas are up and running, but the jump forward. Ana right on top of X-Nova. Say goodbye to your line, but he'll come straight back again thanks to his buyback. But Chalice isolated. He still doesn't have reincarnation. Back up again, and this really is the game. There's no way LGD can try and defend this. Even with the Scythe onto the Morphling, he can potentially just buyback and come into the fight. That's exactly what's going to happen. Arme turns on the flag cannon, but he's getting stunned up so much. Echo Slam from G-Rex. They're looking for as much control as they possibly can, but the relocate pulls him back into safety. LGD, they're holding the line, but up against a swarm of OG. Somnus jumps forward again. He does not have that Reaper Scythe available. And they're looking for more. Tornado will not be able to connect. Have to buy a little bit more time. Somnus will burn his own BKB. Sees Thompson is low. Arme flat cannons off cooldown in 5 seconds time as LGD. Seb, I found a line. It's Somnus over on the edge. Fissure to hold him there. Sunstrike to finish the job. And then they go up for more after the IO, after the man who's keeping Arme up. With his flat cannon damage, it's pretty decent, but not decent enough. There's just not enough follow-up. The AoE Deathling Blast. The G-Rex coming in for Dunk. And LGD, there really is no more joy to be had here. GG, well played. OG will get a draw in their game against LG.
I think they're feeling pretty good about that. I really like this draft from OG. Like I said before the game started, I think they solved some of the problems from the last game. The